Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Tim Legler, along with our reporter, Allie LaForce. Let's check out Pittsburgh's starting lineup. We got Draymond Green. Mitchell is out there with Miller. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Nurkic in its center. And for Honolulu, they've got Christian Brown. Adebayo is out there with Bridges. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's George in at the 1. And with another season just getting underway, Tim, what kind of things are you looking for as you watch here courtside early on here in the season?
You want to see which players have made the progression in the offseason, added things to their games, particularly those young players that you know have a lot of potential. Have they added shooting range? Have they added things to their handle and give them a little bit more escapability?
And so it's Honolulu with it, following the miss by Draymond Green. Here's Leonard. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Such a strong wing. Kawhi can more than handle his own down low.
Alexander-Walker with the ball. Bridges, no one around him. Off target from three-point range. Pass to Leonard. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Miller right side. Mitchell outside. A three-pointer, no good. Bridges against Green. Bounce pass from Bridges. And it's slammed in by Bridges.
He's just rising up with purpose. Allow Bridges to get this kind of positioning. He is going to hammer it home.
Now here is Miller. Back to Leonard. It's tipped. Stolen by Brown. Miller against Bridges. And Adebayo throws it down.
Just non-stop work. Adebayo's effort is getting rewarded.
Mitchell passes to Leonard. Over Brown. And again, it's Pittsburgh missing.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start.
And in terms of efficiency, Greg, very little has changed with Kawhi Leonard.
In multiple years, he's been close to making the 50-40-90 club. A high-usage player who gets to his spots and also takes great care of the ball.
Using all of that size to create leverage and rip down that board.
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play. And that sends Draymond Green to the free throw line. Keontae George picked one up, and this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Well, you know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
And from technical fouls, Tim, to flagrant fouls, it always seems like Draymond Green is walking that line and in the crosshairs.
Walking that line or stomping on that line. I don't know what, but it's where he seems to want to live. You love that competitive fire. You just have to make sure it doesn't cross the line where he hurts his team.
But don't you think he knows exactly what he's doing at all times?
He understands most officials don't want to give him that second technical, that's for sure. Oh, man! Well, that's just an excellent job by Green as the screener. First he sets it, then gets the scoring opportunity.
And that's a great look at that slam from our AT&T Connected Cam. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Thank you. Well, Draymond Green is getting serious in the weight room. He said, one thing I learned is you have to lift weights. I was always naturally strong, so I was like, what do I need to lift for? These guys can't move me right now. Your body needs to be able to withstand the pounding of a long season. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Allie, we thank you. And it's Mitchell with the ball for Pittsburgh. They trail by 1. This game against Honolulu here, it's their first meeting of the season.
An interconference matchup. They faced these guys twice a season, and last year they took both games.
There's a lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. A big group substitution here for Honolulu. Honey's checked in. Sanders comes in for Christian Brown. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Alexander Walker. And it's Trey Mann in for George. And with the bounce pass, Adebayo the screen. Honolulu, no good that time either. For Pittsburgh, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Murray Boyle. Clowney pulls it in.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
He didn't quite get a hand on it, but he did enough to affect the miss.
Adebayo deciding where to go with it. Oh, that's blocked. Vincent finds Okoro. 41 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Down low. It's stolen by Adebayo. Now, Mann. Still yet to score. Nailed from three-point land.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Yeah, it's been a close matchup, which we expected, and this could very well come down to some big shots at the end.
Here's Vincent. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Sorey. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. At the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Honolulu leads by only 2. And we'll be back shortly for the start of... And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Honolulu.
Straight away, they've opened things up offensively with skillful passing, running smart plays, and just setting guys up for success.
And I like how they've played defense, turning turnovers into points. Those are huge.
And Pittsburgh, looking at who they've got out there. Isaac Okoro out there with Johnson. Then there's Traore. Then it's Miller and Murray Boyles in at the 5 down low. Good work there as it goes. Mann's got the lead up to 4 now for Honolulu.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
To the inside. Out to Miller. Johnson sets the screen for Miller. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And more than just a jump shooter, Miller's very good around the rim. A rare quality for a wing these days.
Mann passes to Bridges. Back to Mann. Beyond the arc. Pittsburgh pulls it in.
When they ran the offense right, they found some easy shots, but on that occasion, it was few and far between.
It was almost like they were lethargic at times. The urgency just wasn't what it needed to be.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Yeah, not only does he create the space he needs, but then he attacks downhill.
And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Adebayo is checked in for Honolulu. Keontae George comes in for Trey Mann. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Pittsburgh. against Kennard. Outside, George. Shoots over Traore. Here's Adebayo.
Oh, that was amazing! Oh, my goodness! That came out of nowhere. Adebayo with the highlight reel dunk.
Outside, Leonard. Bridges with the board. And here's Bridges. He'll bring it up for Honolulu. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Adebayo. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. And now a 4-point Honolulu lead. And here's Miller. 9 points last game out. And he converts the layup. And guys, hold on now. I'm getting word we have Shams Charania calling in. Shams, what do you have for us?
Well, a debate is brewing. While the NBA has pushed back against load management, saying it's an 82-game league, prominent voices on the team side countering that. With much more movement on every possession, modern play style places novel demands on players' bodies.
A serious challenge. Okay, Shams, we thank you for that report. A kick out to Adebayo. It's good. Adebayo's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, this has been a huge scoring night for Adebayo, and when you consider the elite defense he brings every night, points are a bonus.
And it'll be Pittsburgh with their first time out of the game here. For Honolulu, and he's checked in, and Christian Brown subbed in for Sanders. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 6. And the rebound goes to Honolulu. Adebayo's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's George. And yes, it's good. George has got the lead up to 4 now for Honolulu.
And nice touch inside. George can finish from all 3 levels.
Mitchell passes to Leonard. There's 1:38 left in the first half. Pittsburgh needs to get off a shot here. And it's Mitchell missing. Honolulu leading by 4. Greg, they're in a rhythm offensively, really cooking.
And the opposition looks helpless to stop them right now.
For Pittsburgh, they've gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Pass to Leonard. To the middle. Here's Nurkic. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And that's one of the things Nurkic does so well. Absorb contact and still be in control.
Zach Collins checked in for Honolulu. Trey Mann comes in for Keontae George. Free throw, no good for Nurkic.
You know, it took Nurkic a while to kind of establish himself as a starting center in the NBA, but it didn't take long to see it's a role he deserves.
The shot by Adebayo, no good. For Pittsburgh, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Collins. Pass to Brown. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
All the officials are all over that one.
It's his first trip to the line.
Really a good season for him overall last year when you look at the number, 83% from the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Brown. And Honolulu making a change here. Banton's checked in. And Pittsburgh also making a switch. Okoro's checked in. And both free throws good for Brown. Pittsburgh trails by 4. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Leonard inside, defended by Alexander Walker.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Stolen by Mitchell. Green fires from way outside. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Honolulu out front, up 4. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule.
Taking a look here at lovely Honolulu. I think about the sunshine. I think about the weather. When you come out rocking with 2 straight.
And now something we should probably touch on, Bam Adebayo. What a first half from him. And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You look at Bam Adebayo in this game, guys, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half, and he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Well, you're going to have to adjust the way you're defending him. He is getting whatever he wants right at the rim.
Let's go to the sideline and hear some news about Keontae George. Allie, what are they saying about the prognosis?
Guys, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for Honolulu. He let me know that it's a strained hip, which causes plenty of soreness and shooting pain in that area. They've made the call that they feel it's okay for him to play. And even though there's a moderate recovery time, he's also confident at the moment to be back on the floor.
Thanks, Allie. We appreciate the update.
Well, that's an injury no player wants to deal with, but as we know, so many guys have dealt with it at some point.
We've got Nickeil Alexander Walker. Miles Bridges is out there with Christian Brown. Then it's Bam Adebayo, and it's George in at the point guard position. And that's the 5 to begin the second half for Mitch Johnson. It's stolen by Brown. Here's Bridges. Draymond Green with the rebound. And so Green will bring it up for Pittsburgh. 4-point game. And their road trip is only getting started as that's the second of 6 for them. One of the best defenders of his generation. Tim, do you think Draymond Green will be a surefire Hall of Famer?
Well, he's a former Defensive Player of the Year, and not to mention a key contributor on 4 Warriors championship teams. Kevin, he will be in the Hall of Fame, no question.
When you think about elite offensive players, Tim, what's one area that can really put them over the top and into a completely different category?
I think it's those guys that have a willingness to move without the basketball. If you have a willingness to run and cut and respace, it's going to create a lot of problems for a defense.
Has that even become more of a thing now as you watch these high-octane space and pace type offenses?
There is no question. It's become something that's a priority for teams now, and I also think the ingenuity of these young coaches creates a better flow offensively if you're willing to run without the basketball.
That's terrific. And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout, looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two.
Taking a look at some stats for Draymond Green. Good season for him last year. Was in at about 9 points per, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. And he'd like to put last year behind him, hoping for a much better showing this time around.
And we've seen guys reinvent themselves in the offseason. There are a number of ways to do that. Skill refinement, strength, and conditioning.
Alexander Walker with the ball. He's against Miller. Adebayo with the bucket.
Well, his team is up, and he's a big reason why. And it's a little easier to shoot when you know you've got an advantage on the scoreboard.
Now a timeout called by Pittsburgh. It's time now to look at the NBA's toughest defensive teams from a season ago.
Defense was their identity, and that's how they're going to beat you. And they did it better than anyone in the league.
Here's Nurkic. And it's Miller. It's out the key. Bridges with the steal. Pass to George. Brown, the bounce pass. Honolulu passing it around. Here's Bridges. Nobody near George. Drills the three-pointer. George has got the lead up to 6 now for Honolulu.
And developing that three-ball shot, George is putting in the work now.
Green against Bridges. Kawhi, confident inside.
Well, all systems go here early on. That's 3 in a row since Jump Street.
Bridges outside. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Brown's shot is off. Pittsburgh trails by 4. Miller surveying the floor. Pass to Leonard. Back to Green. And it's Miller in the corner. Green with a screen for Miller. Clock at 4. Here's Alexander Walker. Covered by Miller. Brown with this screen on Miller. In the corner, it's Brown. Hits the three-point bomb. Brown's got 5 now.
If any defense gives you that much cushion, you have to take that shot.
Over in the corner, Green. Inside, Nurkic. Good. Great play by Green to set it up. Nurkic has got 4 points in the quarter. Now, here is George. He has 5. Here's Adebayo. Draymond Green with the rebound. And so Green will bring it up for Pittsburgh. Trailing by 5. Pass to Miller. Back to Leonard. Green in the post. Working on George. And that one is good. He's got 10.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. A lot of new players out there for Honolulu.
Substitution on the court.
We've got 1:18 left to play in the third. Pass to Kennard. Back to man. Here's Clowney in the corner. Collins with it. 4 on the clock. Honolulu needs to get off a shot. Honolulu, no good that time either. Pittsburgh trails by 3. 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pass to Beringer. Benson with it. Hasn't made one yet. Now Sanders. Now man. There's a screen by Collins. Back to Sanders. Pass to Clowney. A 3 ball. It doesn't go for him. And here is Okoro. Here's Murray Boyle. That one a little long. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Honolulu leads by 3. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Well, he made the right play. It didn't have to be a highlight reel play, and that's all you can ask from any position.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. And Pittsburgh, looking at who they've got out there. Brandon Miller out there with Traore. Then it's Okoro. And it's Watkins in a power forward.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And it's slammed in by Bridges.
Yeah, he gives up a few inches to most of his matchups, but his ability to rise above always gives him a chance.
Kennard against Miller. Here's Watkins. Offensive rebound. Here's Traore. And right through it goes.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on him.
Fourth quarter still young. Just over a minute play. Bridges outside. Honolulu passing it around. It's up a 3. He doesn't hit that one.
Yeah, they're winning despite his offensive performance. He just hasn't been sharp from the field.
Pass to Miller. Pulls it up. And he connects with the jumper.
Now, how about this move by Miller, using the pick and roll to create some space for himself?
Man passes to Kennard. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And Honolulu leads by 3.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now a timeout called by Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
I got a chance to hear what Pittsburgh's head coach was saying to the team. He told his guys to up their aggressiveness on the defensive end, saying this game is all about who can get stops right now. I need you guys to bring some more energy on defense. That's how we'll get this win. Guys?
Thank you, Allie. Out of bounds, Honolulu takes possession. Honolulu leading by 3. George looking over the floor. Driving to the basket. Pass to Alexander Walker. Shot clock at 5. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Traore. Steps back and fires. Here is Sanders. Adebayo with a screen for Sanders. George up top. Adebayo the screen. And stolen by Miller. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Oh, he can't jam it home. He is denied. Outside, George. Now, Adebayo. Adebayo with a screen for Bridges. Here's Adebayo. Oh, what a play inside.
Well, Adebayo just stepped up at a critical point in this game. Tremendous amount of confidence.
Now, a timeout called by Pittsburgh. Christian Brown's checked in for Honolulu. Pittsburgh making a switch here. Here's Green. Now Miller. They get a hand on it. Alexander Walker with the ball. He's against Miller. In transition, here comes Pittsburgh. Good! Lays it right in there.
Well, Draymond is always looking for the best option out there, and that time he found it.
Here's Adebayo. Nurkic there for the rebound.
Well, that was a great challenge at the rim and a difficult adjustment to make.
Leonard looking around.
And Leonard is such a tough cover. He's so good at baiting the D into foul.
First team foul. At the line for Pittsburgh, Kawhi Leonard. 2 shots.
It's the first, and that brings them within 2 here. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
Now, this team knows they can rely on him in these situations. He is so consistent at the free throw line.
Adebayo fires from 13 feet. It's in.
And how about Adebayo kicking it into high gear offensively?
Nurkic a screen on George. Now Leonard. Another chance here. Leonard puts it right back in.
Showing no hesitation, and in a huge moment, Kawhi wants the ball when they need a bucket.
Now Adebayo. Good work there as it goes down.
Yeah, they need to get him the ball. Adebayo has a ton of big game experience.
Nurkic a screen on George. Leonard inside. Covered by Brown.
That is world class.
What a huge shot at this point in the game.
Here's Adebayo. Big time jam. He was ready to receive and deliver.
And look who shows up in the clutch. The readiness of Adebayo paying off big time. How about the determination? Now that's what we call competing for a rebound.
Now George. Right side, Adebayo. Nurkic there for the rebound. Now a timeout called by Pittsburgh. Turning here to our analysts. What factors, guys, come to your mind?
And if you can get a 3, shoot it. Otherwise, get the quick 2 and a foul.
You're definitely going to have to get a 3 here and then count on them to miss free throws.
Here's Pittsburgh with the ball. It's a 3-point game.
That championship mentality of Leonard. This is why they go to him in the clutch.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get him to the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let him hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
And that's an intentional foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
This free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2.
Name a type of shot. DeAndre George can hit it. More than capable of scoring at all 3 levels.
And does the pressure affect you? Nope, not that time. Not for players who practice these moments. Well executed.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good shooter, but from that distance, his percentages go down.
Miles Bridges. 2 shots.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
Stepped up to the line, and he took care of his business and guaranteed the win. I love the shot selection from him right now. He's not settling, and that's why he's shooting at a very high rate.
And so it's Mitch Johnson calling timeout. Pivotal moment in this game. He's not taking any chances. He'll call time. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Second personal foul. 4th team foul. At the line for 2.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So Honolulu wins it. That was a fun night of basketball. Fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Along with Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you once again for being with us here tonight on 2K Sports. And now our player of the game, Bam Adebayo.